welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new TBR video where we are going to choose my TBR for August. It's that time of the month again where I pick my TBR for August, and I do that with those TBR prompts. I have my jar here, there are a few prompts in here, and those prompts determine which books I can pick for my August TBR. I actually added a lot of books to my TBR this month because I went to the book swap where I added 9 books and I did quite a few book shopping. I think about 5 new books that I added on here. I also rearranged my TBR card because on this side are now all the books on my card that I can pick, and I still have some books on the other side, but those are like next books in the series, so I need to read one of these first, or books that aren't high up on my priority list, or Christmas, fall books that I want to save for that specific season. So we can just pick books from this side. That makes it a lot easier. And as always, I also have a shelf over there with larger books that don't fit on here that we can also pick. The first prompt is gonna be flowers on cover. Oh, that's a good one, because I think that is probably gonna be a few books. No flowers for Phoebe Berman. This is very high up on my list, and it has like a scrapbook theme, but no flowers. This one, Love is a War Song, has flower sprayed edges. I think that counts. So, oh, and it has flowers over here as well. So that's an option. Ooh, the Rose Bargain. I ordered this on Vinted. That's flower galore, so yeah. This one as well is stunning with flowers on the spine. This is an Afterlight book like Love is a War Song. There's a bouquet over there and flowers on the edges as well and on the back, so that is a good option. Oh, and this one as well, Throne of the Fallen. This is very high on my list to read. I just finished the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and this is a spin-off. So that means I could finally pick this. These are good ones to pick from. It's gonna be a hard one. On one side, I really feel like I should finally be reading those Afterlight books, because I feel like I already have those for over a year. So it would be such a good pick to finally get around to that. But then I also just really want to read the Rose Bargain and also Throne of the Fallen. This is the Barnes & Noble's edition, by the way. And like I said, I couldn't read it earlier because I wanted to read the Kingdom of the Wicked series first. But this is also on my 26 in 2026 list. So that would mean I could finally tick that one off. Yeah, no, let's just go for Throne of the Fallen, since that is on my 26 and 2026 list, so I need to read it anyway this year, so why not now? And I have this on my TBR for over 2 years. I bought it in San Diego 2 years ago, and I love it. It's such a pretty edition, so I can't wait to finally read this. So, first book on my TBR. Time for the next prompt, and that is Animal on the cover. Okay, that's a similar prompt actually. It's funny because I often pull similar prompts right after each other. So now we're gonna search for an animal on the cover. Oh, does this count? It's like, this is a dragon, right? I feel like a dragon is an animal, so we could pick When the Moon Hatched. I just bought this a few days ago. I do know I have a prompt in there that says dragon on the cover, and I put it back each time because every time I picked it, I didn't have a book on my TBR with a dragon on it, so I'm guessing if I pick this now for animal, then for sure the next prompt I'm going to pick is dragon. But we could pick this. Oh, I could also pick Rejected, because that has a wolf on the cover right there. We could also pick the Chested Hare. I mean, it is a mythical animal, mythical creature, but that counts, right? So we could choose that. It's like a bird with horns and then legs. And a bull. There's also a bull right there. So, multiple animals. We could pick this. Okay, I actually also found some hardbacks. We could pick the Poet Empress, also with a dragon. The Lure of Wolves and Whispers, my newest Fairy Loot book, and has a wolf on the back. And I have the Assassin's Way with a snake on the cover. I'm thinking just because of the thickness of the books. And Throne of the Fallen is already quite thick. That is over 500 pages. It doesn't look that thick, but it is. I am a bit hesitant about When the Moon Hatched. I do want to read this soon though, but that would mean 2 bigger, I think a bit more heavier fantasies already on the TBR. We don't know what else is to come. So I am a little bit hesitant just purely based on thickness of the book. If this would have been the first prompt, I probably would have picked When the Moon Hatched. But I'm also really excited about Rejected, so I think I'm gonna go for this one. I bought Rejected in Denmark, so I am very excited to read this. It is a stunning edition and it is about wolf shifters, so I think that is very cool. It is about animals as well, so that is very cool. And I think this is like a lighter fantasy read, just an easier read. Actually, it's more of a dark romantasy, but I think it's going to be a little bit more fast-paced, so that would be a good addition next to Throne of Fallen, I would say. So I'm going to pick this one. Third one. Book with a map. Oh damn, that is going to be another fantasy book. Is this going to be a happy fantasy month? Because that is going to be hard for me. Because I also think my local book club, we're also going to read a fantasy book, so that is going to be tough. But book with a map. Does When the Moon Hatched have a map? It does have a map. Okay, not in the lure of Wolves and Whispers. The Jazzed Hare also has a map. Kingmakers does have an entire like family tree sort of thing, but no map. Yeah, I honestly think it has to be one of those two because I can't find any other book with a map. Especially I've checked, I think, almost all of my romance books because I'm craving the romance books after the first two picks, but it's gonna be one of these two and then I just have to go with When the Moon Hatched. I end up with it anyway, that's how it goes. It comes right back at you. I'm just so excited about reading this and I know some of my friends are really excited about me reading this since it's their favorite book of the year. Or ever, probably. So we're gonna put this on the TBR. But after this, I better get some prompts for romance books because otherwise it's gonna be a tough month for me. And also it's summer, like I like contemporary romances in summer, so I need some easier, more fast-paced books as well. Fourth prompt, I'm gonna go for this one. A book with a playlist. See, I always pull like similar prompts right after each other. How does that happen? Book with a playlist. However, that does sound like a romance book. So, but I must say, I haven't seen any books that I just checked with a playlist. So it's still going to be hard. I generally can't find any. I don't think I have any books with a playlist. So we're just gonna throw this back after I film this. And then we'll pick a different fourth prompt. Book with... Oh, Bookie got Secondhand. Oh, that's fun because I actually recently got a lot of books secondhand at the book swap and also some on Vinted, so we must be able to make this work. I recently got Honey and Spice on Vinted. I got Good Girl Complex at the book swap, so those are... I'm just gonna focus on romance books because we already have a fantasy heavy. Rose Bargain also got it through Vinted, but this is a little bit fantasy, has a little bit of fantasy, but I actually have the perfect book that I just also got on Vinted, and it's Happy Place by Emily Henry, because I haven't read this yet, but so far I do like most of her books, and I saw this one on Vinted has the American spine, and I thought, why not just order this? It ended up being the bigger paperback, so bummer about that, but I still really want to read this, so I also think this is a good summer romance, so that would mean I can add a little bit of a summery book to my August TBR, which I very much crave. So I think we're just gonna go pick this one. Fifth prompt. The first book you see on Fable. Okay, that is a fun one. Open Fable. Okay, I see the book I'm currently reading. Let's check what my friends are reading first. Nothing I have on my TBR right now. No, so let's just scroll. Okay, let's actually switch from following to For You page because I feel like that gives us a little bit more options outside of what my friends read. Jimenez, already read. Nothing yet. Oh, it's taking way longer than I thought it would. I mean, Fable knows the books that I want to read, so it often shows things about those books, but King of Cluny, already read that just recently. Oh! The Rose Bargain! I see a review of The Rose Bargain. Ah, another fantasy book! Oh, what is happening, you guys? I want a light, fast-paced month. I mean, I'm fully in the fall vibes already, but just like with blankets and my tea and hot drinks and cozying up, and not necessarily fall books, but what the prompt says we have to do, so it's gonna be the Rose Bargain that I also got recently on Vinted. I am very curious about this. I think it's a lighter like fantasy read, since it's more like a romance book with some fantasy elements in there, or at least that's what I expect. And it gives me Bridgerton vibes because it says England 8048. The season is officially open. High society girls line up to bargain with the immortal Queen Morgan for qualities that will win them suitors. A perfect smile for the loss of a finger, an exquisite talent for piano in exchange for one happiest childhood memory. So they basically have to sort of battle for the opportunity to marry the prince. Feels like Bridgerton, but then add a little bit of fae and fantasy elements. I am excited about this, so I'm not too mad about this. So let's add this to the TBR as the 5th book. Okay, but for the last one, the 6th prompt, I really want a lighter read, like a romance book. Also, I feel like I just have a lot of fantasy books on my TBR, because the romance books that I buy, I often read really soon, and fantasy books tend to stay on my TBR for longer, so it makes sense. But for the 6th prompt, I really need a romance book. We're gonna go with this one. Released in the last 3 months. Okay, I think we can work with that. Or can we? Yes, we can work with that, because I think Phoebe Berman is released recently. Let me look that up before I get too happy about it. Yay, May 26th of this year. So that's only like 2 months ago. I'm really happy about that. I know it's not necessarily a romance because it's actually a literary fiction, but I am excited about reading this, and I think it's gonna be a fun read and gives me a break in between all of these fantasy books. So should we look at other options? Because honestly, just looking at it quickly, I think most of these books that I have on here have been out for longer. Yeah, I honestly think this may be my only option in the not fantasy section. This book is about Phoebe, obviously, and all she ever wanted is a whirlwind romance, and yet she keeps getting in her own way. She has no idea what has caused her long and messy history of failed dating attempts, the panic attacks, cold sweats, and projectile vomiting. But she is going to be 30 in a month, and she is still a virgin. She's determined to change. So what I heard about this book is that it is about intimacy and struggles with intimacy, and I love reading about that. I'm very interested in that, so I feel like this is such a good literary fiction book for me. I just now start to get literary fiction, and I feel like this is like an easier lit fic that could be something for me. So we're gonna read this one. Okay, we have such a fantasy heavy, intense, and very much pink TBR for August. And most of these books have some pink in them, or red, except for When the Moon Hatched. But we're gonna go with this anyway. It's a big stack of books, but I am excited about all of these books. So let's give it a go. Let's go through it again. The books that we picked are Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, Rejected by Jasmine Eve, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, Happy Place by Emily Henry, The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith, and then Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It by Brooke Averick. And then as always, a 7th book is going to be added to that, which is my local book club book, but right now we haven't picked it yet. And that is it, you guys. If you liked watching this video, then please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all of my upcoming videos. And with that being said, I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Bye guys, doei!